Hi guys, welcome back. This video is going to be kind of a video for when you're really running late and you don't have a lot of time, or when you're traveling and you want to pack really lightly and kind of multi-purpose products, use something in a unique way that you've never used before for that purpose, and kind of a more bang for your buck as far as budget as well. So the star of today's show is the Lorac Pro 2 palette. And I have reviewed this palette a long time ago. I've had it for probably about a year, at least 6 months. It's got 12 shades, 16 shades. The top row is matte and the bottom row is all kind of shimmery or not matte, depending on the finish. So this palette is very versatile. So this side of my face is actually already done. I used this palette here. I did my contour, my blush, my highlight, my brows, my eyeshadow, and the under eye liner, and on my lips. So this is kind of a great way to utilize something you already own. And if I was going to travel, I could get by with this palette, a concealer, obviously some brushes, and mascara. Not bad. So let's get started. The first thing I did was I primed my eye with the Lorac Behind the Scenes Shadow Primer, and then I went all over the lid with this peachy color. This is called Nectar, and it's just a really pretty, easy to wear peach. And this is actually our blush as well for this look. I placed this color all over the lid and also above the crease to use it as a transition shade. So it actually blends out beautifully once you pack on the deeper color. So then I took the Sigma E40 tapered blending brush and I used the color Plum from the palette, purpley color, and I just put that right at the crease. I tapped this brush in the wrong color. So let me just wipe it off real quick. So I tapped my brush into the purple color and I put it just above the crease for a deepening and the outer area. That's all I did on this eye, so this eye, there you go. And then I'm just going to blend it out really quickly. For that, I'm just going to use the Makeup Geek Soft Dome brush. And this is just going to soften that line. Okay, so for the highlight, today I used the color Beige initially. And there it is. And I used this color mostly just to get a nice brow bone highlight, but then I was like, hey, I kind of like that. I'm going to use that as my cheek highlight as well. So for this, I'm just using a soft, tiny little brush, and I'm tapping that right below the brow, right on the inner corner of the eye. Obviously, you can blend that in as you see fit. If you don't like that bright of a highlight, you can use this matte one called Buff, and it's more of a buff tan skin color shade. So that is pretty much it for the eyeshadow. Then I took this same brush, which is just a skinny, a flat paneled eyeshadow brush, and I took the color Rose and Nectar. Rose is like a rose gold shimmery color, and that Nectar, which is that pink color there, and I tapped that on the lower lash line for a little bit of a pop. And then I went in with the Lorac cream eyeliner, and this is in the color Cobalt, and the lid actually becomes your brush. I got this off of Haute Look, you know. So all I'm doing is applying that to the upper lash line. I'm not really a cream liner girl, I have to be honest with you. It is just not my thing, but I really wanted to stay consistent. I use a Lorac primer, I use a Lorac mascara, so I figured I would use my Lorac liner. I also have this in like a sagey green color. But as you can see, on this side it looks really intense, but over here, once I get the mascara on, a little bit of black liner on the waterline, the blue is not nearly as intense looking. So that's it for that liner, and then I'm going in with a black, any old black liner that you have. This one happens to be from Buxom, and I'm using that just on the upper tight line there. And that just really helps ground the blue so it doesn't appear as crazy bright. Then, like I mentioned, I'm using the Lorac Cobra mascara, And I already curled my lashes before I begun this look. I may have to apply more coats of mascara or clean up the eye look once I'm done here, but I feel like this is just a really fun way to wear color, you know? It's a pinky, almost like sunrise, sunset or something with the pinks and the purples. It's kind of a pretty warm look, and I kind of like it. I'm surprised. So then, for the contour today, don't be scared. I'm using this color, Cool Gray. I know. So if you've ever seen the contours of your face, they are kind of grayish, actually, like almost like a shadow. You know, like a darkened shadow. But you have to be very careful with this dark gray. So next to it, Cool Gray, I use light brown. So I kind of use a mix of those two. And I'll show you the intensity of this Cool Gray, okay? So I just tapped it in there. I mean, it's intense. You could definitely go overboard with this color. So I'm just going to start at the top of the ear, maybe a little bit below the top of the ear. And I'm going to take a line as if I'm drawing it to the out part of the eye. And the line I'm making would be from the top of the ear to the inner corner of the mouth. So that's basically what I did for the contour. And then I just took that same brush. This is the Jessup Large Fluff Brush. It's really just a big old fat eyeshadow brush slash face brush. But I just went over this a million times until it was blended out. I did not blend downward, I only blended it upwards. Because if you blend it downwards, you start to look like you have a beard. But if you blend it upwards, then it blends into your blush. For blush today, we're going to be using the color Nectar, which is that pinky color from the eyes on our cheek. And it actually, I liked it. I was kind of hesitant, you know, to see if that was going to be something I'd like, you know. This is a blush brush. I have to kind of squeeze it to use it into the blush palette here. But, blush palette, it's not a blush palette. Nope. I'm putting it on there nonetheless. I will clean up. I think I carried the contour a little too far forward, but I thought that, you know, this is a good way to try it out. Use that palette, you know, pull that palette out that you haven't used in a long time and try it. Try using it. You know, it's really a good way to get more bang for your buck. So this is the foundation brush I used earlier. So I'm just kind of taking that and cleaning up the underside of that contour line and the inner part where I said I think I carried it too far forward. So that is it for the contouring and the highlighting. I mean, contouring and the blush. So for the highlight, I'm taking the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush, which is just a small brush, and I'm using that in the color beige that we used on the eye as a highlight, and I'm using that on the cheekbone as a highlight. So let's see if I can get you a little bit of different lighting here. So there's that highlight right there. Okay, and then for the lips, I know I just turned on that light because I can never tell for sure if you guys can see, so I changed the lighting to make sure at some point in the video you get a good clear match. This is an added step that you do not have to do. It's the Tarte Nude Eyeliner. Just put that in the lower waterline. Now for lips, I took the color Nectar and I added a gloss on top. And this is a really easy way. If you like the matte look, you don't even have to add the gloss. Very easy. Or if you have a clear brow gel, like I happen to have here, you can tap that on the lips just to make it stay a little longer. Okay. Then I'm taking an angled little tiny brush. I'm using the color light brown again, and I'm filling in my brows. And don't be scared. I know. You're like, I don't know, girl, that color's pretty light. I will admit, light brown color in this palette, in the Lorac Pro 2, is rather warm toned. And that's okay for me, but if you have extremely cool toned dark brown hair, you might not be able to pull this off. And then I went in with that clear brow gel. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills clear brow gel. And I brushed it through, blending it out. There you have it. That is how I use one palette to get my brows, eyes, cheeks, and lips. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe and let me know what kind of videos you want to see next. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.